What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and this time I'm just doing an old request. Like 4 people wanted me to do this, plus this guy's getting lucky. Somebody just requested it again today, so they lucked out. Since like 4 other people requested this, I figured, all right, well, I might as well get this done. So today we're gonna have a look at Hogwarts Legacy. Now, I had quite a bit of fun with this game. Now, was it the game of the year? No. I mean, unless you're like a Harry Potter fan and you like nostalgia and stuff, the game isn't really that great of a game. As far as gameplay goes, I usually get yelled at for saying this, but to me it felt kind of like a 6. But again, I'm also a person who liked Harry Potter and whatnot. Not an ultra crazy fan. I've always been like, if I'm an ultra fan of anything, it's probably like stuff like Lord of the Rings and whatnot. But anyway, I still played the hell out of that game. I almost got all the achievements on this one. Most of the time, I get like 30, 35, 40% of the achievements in a game by the time I get to the end, or at least get one of the endings of the game. I don't always get every ending to the game, except for with Nier Automata. I try to get every freaking ending to that, because that game is fucking awesome. But anyway, so I still got like, what, 35 out of the 45, and a couple of them are easy, like one more of them is easy. You just got to get to level 40. It's just I've done everything, so there's really like, I can't really figure out any other ways to like level up. But there's got to be a way. They wouldn't make it a cap and no one would have the damn thing if it was impossible. So anyway, since like 4 people in the past wanted me to do this, this is one of those ones that just got lost in the books. Sometimes people have me do stuff and then I either don't see the message or a bunch of other games come up and then I do those and they completely forget about it. So there's probably still a couple of games that were requested that are lurking in my comment section somewhere that are like this. But anyway, this is turning into a really long intro. I just want to explain what's going on here. And the guy who just frickin' requested this really lucked out that a bunch of other people already requested this and I was gonna fulfill theirs anyway. So now you get yours early. Normally I'm not gonna sit here and go, oh, well, you requested it, all these other people have to wait. Well, you get yours early. No, that's not fair. But if I'm doing it for all other people that requested it and they luck out, I mean, that's just them lucking out. But anyway, so that's the plan for this video. We're gonna hop in there. I'm just gonna try they didn't really specify what they wanted me to test, so we're just gonna test a few things out. Sorry about the long intro, but just wanted to explain what was going on here. So let's go ahead and hop ourselves into the game. All right, since I made everybody wait so long and missed a bunch of times I could have done this earlier, we're gonna go through more than just me playing the game on ultra camera and screen recorded, and we'll try a couple things. So we'll start off with just maxing the game out with ray tracing and see how it handles it. Though judging by the fact that we're only 50 in this menu here, it's probably not going to be a 60 plus experience. But will it stay at least at playable FPS? Will it be a Starfest? These are the questions I had upon thinking about what to try on here for everyone who wanted to know how it ran. So there we go. Ray tracing's on and it's on ultra, so shit. I guess it's time for us to go see how it runs. Well, here we are in the game. And it looks like we're in the 50s we touched 60 a couple of times there, but I have a feeling once we get in there, it's probably going to drop to the 30s and 40s. But still, I think it's doing a little better than it did the last time I tried this on stuff. Then again, I don't think I ever tried it on my 7800X3D and 7900X. I think last time I tried this game, I had the 5800X3D, which was still useful for this game. This game loves powerful CPUs. It's a CPU-intensive game. Especially when you have ray tracing turned on. Yep, there's the 40s. Definitely taking up some VRAM though, look at that.
Stopping Ranrock and his loyalty.
Now we're gonna run around Hogsmeade for a little too. Figured that and Hogwarts are the two most intensive places in the whole game. I decided in this one not to go into the forest area because that'd just take too much time. I figured I'd just spend a little more time in Hogwarts and in this Hogweeds area. And it seems to do alright. Like maybe if we dropped it down to balanced FSR, it would actually get 60 plus, but I don't know. Might just be too CPU intensive, and no matter what we do with FSR, it might not get us a 60. Not with the ray tracing anyway. Not surprising though, AMD has never been good at ray tracing. Maybe one day that'll change, but right now, no. Hasn't really had great upscaling, and it's never really had great ray tracing. But I'm hoping eventually both those things would change. Because everybody deserves to have some nice ass, like DLSS, like AI kind of upscaling. I mean, even the PlayStation you have AI upscaling. Though I still think PlayStation just basically took FSR 4's AI upscaling and just kind of PlayStationified it with their own little tweaks here and there, would be my guess. But then again, I'm not a developer. I don't know that for a fact. Holy shit, that was a drop. Did you guys see that? And that right there is why I don't like playing with games with ray tracing very often. Unless they run halfway decent. And this is not one of them. It is open. That's one hell of a way to get people to come to your shop, I guess. Just spin a sign and be like, yo, look how cool this is, guys. Well, I guess we can't walk over a small bag. Oh shit, that was a bigger drop than I thought. Alright, so now we're going to try ray tracing with FSR 2 on quality, which I guess makes it 960p ultra wide. And we still have the game on ultra. And of course, ray tracing is still on. So, let's go see if we actually get playable frame rates now. If I remember correctly, no. But I'm curious. Now here we go, we got FSR on quality and we still got ray tracing on ultra. So let's see, can we stay above 60 now? Nope, down to 59, 58.
Stayed up almost the entire night. finally have an answer as to why that portrait was empty.
Alright though, let's move on to Hogsmeade. So now we're in Hogsmeade with FSR on quality, and still have ray tracing on, and all that good stuff. And nope, we're dropping down to 57 again, so we still can't quite stay at a constant 60 plus. But it's still getting a lot higher FPS than it was before, that's for sure. Though it does definitely look quite a bit softer and whatnot. But you still get your ray tracing effects too, so that's just something you gotta make the decision, is it worth it or not? Me, I don't think so. I think I'll just play the game without it. I didn't play with ray tracing last time around. Now, the 5090 you'll probably be able to play this game with ray tracing and stay at 60 plus at 4K, maybe even native. But even it might need DLSS's help. We shall see when it comes out. I'm very excited. It does seem to be quite a powerful card. Whew. Yummers. Alright, let's move on. So now let's turn off FSR and ray tracing and just try to play the game native on Ultra and see how it does with that. And then we'll finish up with FSR and Ultra and no ray tracing. I think that'll be good. And there we go. Let's get into the game. Starting off at Hogwarts here. And definitely getting a lot better frame rates. Obviously, it doesn't look quite as nice as shiny because it doesn't have ray tracing on now, but I still think the game looks really good without ray tracing, personally. And I've always been a more smoothness in frames over shiny surfaces any day, which is funny considering I'm on PC, but that's why I like that. I get to have my good graphics and good frame rates. Now, I might have to deal with a small stutter in some games here and there, but I think it's worth it versus having to be stuck at like 30 FPS or even 60. Because most people don't even think 60 is enough on a system like this. And they're right. It's like, I still, my bare minimum for most, even single player games, is like 80 to 100. And 60 is like the absolute bare minimum. Just like 30 is my absolute bare minimum on handhelds. But I think with that I can deal with it more because that's controller. Controllers, you're not as, you don't see the latency and frame time inconsistencies as bad with that. For keyboard and mouse is so, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just so more precise, and you can get way faster movements, so it's a lot easier to see those frame drops and the frame time spikes and this, that, and the other thing. But yeah, for the most part, it seems relatively smooth. It does have like a small frame time stutter here and there, but for the most part, this is night and day difference compared to what this game used to be like when it first came out. Like, this game was almost as bad as like Castillo Protocol and shit with the amount of stutter it would have just walking around. And who knows, maybe it's just because I'm on my 3D chip. And maybe that's the only reason. And maybe this would still be terrible on every other computer I try. Like, that's the kind of frame times it was getting, like, all the time everywhere just walking around. And I can deal with that every once in a while, like I've told people. Like, doesn't bother me. Having a little stutter like that, not a big deal. Now, if it's going to do that constantly all over the place, non-stop, to where I can't even walk more than 5 feet without it stuttering, then that's the problem. But then again, these are all just my opinions. It's not like I'm holding these as facts or anything. But in any case, I think this is a good spot to move on, so let's go on to Hogsmeade now. Well, now here we are in Hogsmeade, so let's just run around for a little bit. See if we get another, like, giant stutter like we did when the ray tracing was on, and we dropped down to, like, 12 FPS. And it almost seemed like the game just stopped for a second. That was bad. I don't like stutters like that either. That's that game breaking. You can be like, oh man, I'm so immersed. Oh, well, not anymore.
Work hard and don't be afraid to fail.
You'll not cast successfully ever activating the trait of mind. Flipendo might seem like harmless fun.
If it thinks it's got half a chance.
Well, this was the spot it happened, and so far, so good.
Dark wizards are greedier than magnificent.
My father always taught me to keep my wand at the ready.
Now we shall try some FSR2 on quality with the game on Ultra, but no ray tracing this time, just to see what it can do if you just care about frame rate. Well, if we just care about frame rate, I guess we'd put it just on low too. Alright, let's get into that game. So starting out in front of Hogwarts here, let's go for a quick little jaunt through the area. And we're definitely getting a lot more FPS, but in classic form, I think it adds quite a bit more frame time spikes, but maybe I was just stoned and making things up in my own head. Because it definitely had some stutters no matter what, even with no no FSR. I almost said frame gen, but I don't think this game even has frame gen. Or at least not AMD. I think it does have frame gen for NVIDIA, but I can't remember. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just got DLSS and FSR. Well, alright. Let's go to Hogsmeade now. Well, let's finish up in Hogsmeade here before we move on to camera recorded gameplay. Man, FSR would be so cool if it didn't make everything all soft and then have a plethora of other issues, like artifacting around you when you do like anything spell-like and all that kind of stuff. That's never any fun. Now, a lot of people would never even notice that, but I unfortunately notice stupid little things like that, so that's why I give the win to DLSS, and even it is not without fault. But it's still the best as far as upscaling goes, 100%. Well, now let's go over here, and now let's go ahead and move along to a little camera. So now let's get some camera recorded gameplay. Now all I did was turned on HDR and turned FSR off, because I figured we didn't really need it, but I still wanted to test it just for those who are interested, because we're already getting like 100 FPS. There's no reason to turn FSR on. And they definitely did some more work with this game since the last I played. I mean, it still has some little transversal stutters, but it almost feels like a completely different game compared to what I played. This game had some really bad stuttering before. See, it still has some little stutters here and there. And it seems to always stutter right out after I get up here into the courtyard, like right about in the middle of it. Yep, like right there. Not as bad this time as when I was recording, but it's still there. It's slightly noticeable. But compared to what this game used to do, this is great. I could deal with this all day. It used to just be like, walk, stutter, 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 walk, 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 stutter, 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 walk, 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 stutter, stutter, stutter. It was not very fun. This game definitely seems to work your CPU a little bit. Oh, there's one of those chests. But I've already gotten all the chests, so not expecting to see anything else. So now let's go and move on to Hogsmeade. And you can also see how long it takes for it to like transverse between areas and whatnot. It's not as instant as some games, but it's not like it takes that long either. Uses 19 gigs of RAM and 12.2 gigs of VRAM. And this is on ultra wide. Wonder what it uses for 4K. Probably like 13, 14. And then the RAM shouldn't change much. That's crazy, almost 20 gigs of RAM. No wonder this game didn't play nice with the handhelds. But yeah, just gonna do this on this computer. If anybody wants to see me rerun this on anything else, obviously just let me know, but I pretty much run it on almost everything, like the G15 Advantage. I think I even played it a little bit on the Alienware. But don't think I played it at all on this thing. Last thing I think I played this on was when the 5800X was in here. We've also done it on the main PC with the 1300KF and the 4090. I haven't done it on the 5800X3D and 5090. That one would probably be interesting on the big screen, but again, I'm not going to sit there and do that and waste time I could be spending on other requests and whatnot. But today I got owned by Denuvo. Well, technically yesterday I got owned by Denuvo, so I figured screw it. I'll do this one request that I had somehow forgot. I'm sure there's still a couple of them that I didn't see and whatnot, and had like a bunch of people wanting me to do that I will be reminded of. So I figured I'd take that and do that now. Because I gotta wait until 4:30 until I can start doing the rest of the videos. And I got stuck on the Alienware last time because I forgot I got a new PC I just built, so. But in any case, I think that's pretty good for the camera recorded gameplay. So why don't we now go and wrap this video on up? Well, alright guys, that's a wrap for Hogwarts Legacy on the secondary computer here, as requested by like, well, 4 people since the guy yesterday asked, but 3 other people before him asked, and I had forgotten. And then I went and looked at my tab. I did have a tab for it too, so even my tab solution didn't solve it, but I got some tabs on the main computer where I try to keep people. If somebody requests something, I try to just keep it up until I've actually done it. Then I can close the thing. But even that apparently doesn't 100% get you, to do what you're supposed to do. So I decided, well, let's get that done today. Since I got owned by Denuvo yesterday while I was trying to do a game, So figured, well, that's something to do. And then I figured I can also do another, like, not a video request, but somebody was curious if a game crashed on the Steam Deck. So I figured I'd just play that game until from now, it's like what, 1:13? I'll play from now until like 4:30 or until the Steam Deck dies, one of the two. I think I should still be able to get like 2 hours of the gameplay and that, and then I could charge it and maybe play for another hour and see if it crashes for the person. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This thing does seem to run a lot better than it did before. Last time I tested it, it was like a super stutter fest. It had gotten a little bit better than when it launched, but it still was pretty stuttery. Now it's gotten a lot better. There's still a stutter every now and again, don't get me wrong, but it's like almost a night and day difference from what I'm used to. I mean, unless that was my 13900KF just sucking in that game, that some games just hate that CPU, whether it's the E-cores or other issues that it may have. But then other games love it, so still glad I have it and this. I mean, a lot of people would love to be able to have two badass PCs like that, you know? But in any case, I think that's hopefully good enough for the people that requested it. And if not, they can obviously let me know, and I do not mind redoing it. If I fuck up on something that somebody requested on and I make them wait all this time and it still sucks, well then I don't mind redoing it again and trying to do much better next time. But I think I covered my bases. We did Ultra, we did ray tracing, we did FSR and ray tracing, and then we did Ultra stock and Ultra with FSR. Even some HDR camera recorded gameplay with no FSR. So I think that's pretty good. So that is all I got for you guys for this particular video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video because I sure as hell enjoyed making it for you guys, and especially the ones who requested it. And until the next video, peace out, guys.